Hey, this is Garden Guy with a video review of Titan Quest, developed by Iron Lore Entertainment and published by THQ in 2006. I will be reviewing the original game plus the Immortal Throne expansion pack, which provides about 25% more gameplay through an additional map of content called Hades, the underworld of Greek mythology. The game itself has 3 different difficulty levels. Only the normal mode is available at first. You have to beat the game in its entirety to unlock epic and legendary modes. You probably won't care about this in the beginning. I didn't, because I normally just play games on easy or medium until I beat them, and then I just put them down. But here's why you should care. Your character can go all the way up to level 75, and every time you go up in a level, you can beef up your health, energy, strength, intelligence, or dexterity, which determines how much damage you can deal. The bad guys will be stronger too, much stronger. And in order to get all the way up to level 75, you'll need a ton of XP, and that comes from playing all the way through Legendary. To help you survive, you'll need legendary weapons, which are typically only available later in the game. Here I am with a low-level character opening up a boss chest after defeating Nessus the Centaur. Now, by comparison, here is a legendary character that is all the way up in the high 60s in terms of his level, and I'm going to take him all the way back to level 1 on normal. Watch him go. You can actually see some of the ragdoll physics from the game in action as he blasts through some of these beastmen, dealing thousands of damage points. Now this is just fun, and I love doing this in games, but let's not get ahead of ourselves because we got to show you what it looks like in the very, very beginning. When you first boot up the game, it'll be very clear to you that it is an RPG or ARPG similar to Diablo and more recently Torchlight. As you start out, you'll find the same isometric camera angle that can zoom in and out, but it will not rotate around your character. So as you can see, when you go in and out, you can kind of pan away and toward the action. This has no effect on the gameplay. When the game came out in 2006, the requirements were pretty high. This test computer handles it nicely with an Intel 3.3 GHz PC, 8 GB of RAM, and an AMD Radeon 7850. Class selection is pretty standard in RPG games, and you're going to get 9 classes: Storm, Earth, Warfare, Spirit, Dream, which is new, Rogue, Hunting, Nature, and Defense. Now, each one of these is going to give you your own unique skills as you go throughout the worlds of Greece and Egypt, the Orient, and finally to Hades. Now this game's got its ups and downs, and on the downside, it can get a little slow as you're making your way through the huge maps. Just look at this small section of Greece. It looks like miles of walking around. But don't worry, the maps are all quite linear, and it's nearly impossible to get lost. But look at this. I mean, there's a lot of walking around. Another slight downside is the relic, charm, and artifact system. This is basically creating different ways to modify weapons, to socket your weapons for more power, and then if you want to save them all up, you can combine them with a recipe or an arcane formula, and you create what are called artifacts. There is one in action right there with flames coming down from the sky. You can also rain down blood on your enemies. Another one in play that I'm going to show you that I keep equipped most of the time, which is called, I think it's Tyrant's Fist, and it's an earthquake right there. Yeah. So super useful if you can combine them. The other thing I love about this game is the bosses. There's so much variation in their fighting style, the damage that they deal. They're always a ton of fun to play. And if you're early on in the game, they'll kick your ass. I mean, it takes 20, 30 minutes to play some of these guys. A lot of times you're running around in a circle. This character is a little bit more experienced, and it's easier for him to take down these guys. But don't give up. There's a lot of information online on different strategies of how to beat these bosses. In closing, I want to talk about my favorite thing about the game. Close second to the bosses is the loot. The variation, the fun of hunting for new equipment, weapons to build your character throughout the game is a whole lot of fun and really makes it for me. Okay, hope you enjoyed this review and have fun playing Titan Quest.